Merson's battled back from drug addiction. Here at the main event, only 3 big blinds on day 5. And now if he can fade a queen or a jack, he will be world champion.
I got into poker just like pretty much every 20-something these days. Saw it on ESPN in 2003 when Chris Moneymaker won. A couple years later, I started playing online. I didn't even know the rules. Like when I first started playing, I had like what beat what on a little piece of paper next to me. My parents had a hard time with me choosing this lifestyle, and I don't think any parents wouldn't, you know, like what parent would want their kid to go gamble for a living? There's just like a ton of downfalls in the industry, whether it's gambling casinos, betting on sports, getting into drugs. I never really did anything in high school. Had only tried weed a few times. And then when I went to college, a kid that I met at orientation introduced me to coke. Tried it, didn't think much of it. 3 months later, I tried it again and absolutely fell in love with it. And within like a week, doing it, you know, on the weekends, and then that becomes 3 days a week, and then it becomes every day, and then it's just like that massive downward spiral. I had only been using coke for like 5 or 6 months when I came clean to my parents. I'll never forget like how disappointed they were, and my dad yelling at me, being like, "You had that in our household." My first sobriety date was August 8th, 2007. For me, staying sober is staying busy every day. When I first got clean, I just played poker like 70 hours a week. I started with 3 tables, and then I went to 6, then I moved up to 9, then I went to 12. Then I just tried 24 one day, and then I was playing 24 tables of cash every day. My game during those 3.5 years was like where I amassed all my skills. I'm at a club in AC. I spent $2,000 on this table, which is the most I've ever spent at a nightclub before. When you spend that much money, you feel obligated to like drink as much as you can because I have to like get the most out of it. So that's like the most drunk I've ever been in my life. And there's this guy in the bathroom. It's like a devil. And this dude's like, "Hey, do you want a bump?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, man." He's like, "You sure?" "Yeah, I'm good." And then he asked me again. "Nah, man, I've been off that shit for 3.5 years or 3 years or something. I don't need that." I remember going to the bathroom, turning around, and then the dude just being in front of me with the bump in his hand. Like, it's like insane. And then like I couldn't not do it. I lasted another like 5 months before I like full-blown relapsed. If you're abusing any type of stimulant, you can start getting very negative effects and very big emotional swings. I would just go so hard, taking Adderall every day, all day. I was smoking weed all night to go to sleep on this vicious cycle. When I would party, I would either party on Adderall or coke. And then I got into opiates, taking like a small amount and then like quickly going up to 5 or 6 30s a day of Roxy's. I lost 100,000 in 2 hours online one time playing heads up high. And then I played in Bobby's room for the first time. We played 200, 500, and I lost 3 $30,000 buy-ins in like 5 hours or something. It's not like my parents could see how much I was winning or losing, so they had no idea of what was going on. My rock bottom moment was for sure in Vegas. I was staying at the Aria with Tony Gregg and Christian Harder, which are my 2 best friends in poker. I think they both walked in when I was using.
I came back in the room, and all of a sudden like I see him like laying on the bed with like goldfish on his shirt, passed out or dead or something, and I was like, "Dude, you don't want your life to be like this. You were clean for so long. Like, you were doing so well when you were clean."
He just like laid into me, and I like really needed it because no one was really like calling me out, you know? So it was like the wake-up call.
The moment ingrained in me, in my head, is not really those moments in the room, but it's him sitting down like 20 feet away outside of our hotel room, just like bawling, talking to his mom on the phone.
I guess in a way I was kind of just like waiting for someone to notice. Yeah. He
wanted to be clean. Like he knew if he wanted to succeed in poker, he was gonna have to get clean again. And I just pushed him over the edge, I think.
And then I just like really started building momentum back home. I spent the last 3 weeks of December at home, and I flew back to Toronto and stayed there up until the World Series 2012, playing online every day.
Before the chaos, there is quiet. The World Series of Poker main event is back.
Anytime you're gonna be obsessed with certain things in your life, you're gonna be sacrificing other things in your life, so you're just naturally not gonna have the balance. But if I had more balance, would I have this much success in the game? People that achieve really next level things are kind of psycho. Like I can remember hands from like 10 years ago. I can remember my 2 cards, the exact suits of the board, like all the bets.
Merson looks like he's just sitting in a doctor's office, just 2 cards away from the bracelet and $8.5 million.
When I show up in Vegas, I just felt like super confident. Then there was all the luck involved too, and I ran super hot on top of it. And I felt like I was making super sick reads, just kind of like out of body experience of feeling like I always knew what people had and like what to do versus them.
All in.
What was that?
All in.
Oh my!
Merson channels his inner Ivy with that one.
All the training was going into that, you know? Because playing every day online, seeing all the situations, I've seen all the spots, like I've played all the hands, I've put in the work like you haven't.
And as it stands right now, Greg Merson has the lead. He has the chance to win it all right here if Sylvia doesn't improve.
All that work, all that time, down to this very moment.
Poker, in a way, like saved my life because it gave me something to go after and something that I had passion for, and not just like wasting away my life.
And now the river card. It is a 7, and there it is. Greg Merson is the new main event champion. He cleared so many hurdles on and off the felt to make this final table.
That never stop mentality, never giving up, obsessive over whatever it may be in your life. As long as it's used on the right things, then it can be beneficial. For anyone, not just myself, if you can channel that type of personality into anything positive, you can be extremely successful. So now, I mean, my life is pretty similar to what it was before I won the main. I wake up, I play online, I take a break, I have lunch, or I'll work out, I play again, I have dinner, I play again, I watch TV, I go to sleep.
I think Greg has an obsessive personality. So when he gets his thoughts about something, whether it's doing yoga, going to the gym, poker, not doing drugs, he's just like all in, you know, to be clean. That's what he obsesses about.
I think now my greatest strength as a player is just being honest with myself. I just want a normal life of sustained happiness and not putting myself through all this torture. I can't live a happy life unless I'm clean.